going to want to collapse their trade and they have to sell it. So they're going to sell it down here where smart money can buy it back after being short from this point here. So when we look at price, I want you to think again in two institutional swing point theories. You have a breaker, which is the ideal, most optimal trade entry pattern there is in the marketplace because it's absolutely the deepest discount buy and the absolute most premium to sell. It's scary to do it. It's absolutely uncomfortable when you first start doing it. And I know what that feels like. It's scary. But that's the whole purpose of getting into a demo account where you learn to do those types of things. You cannot learn it doing this live money. That's all part of this mentorship. You have to be practicing in a demo where you can literally go in there, step in front of the marketplace. Once it rolls into a new high, sell it. Get that responsiveness of seeing what happens in price. Sometimes it'll keep on going. Okay, no problem. You're going to be wrong. But you're going to know right away that you're wrong. And you don't have a 100 pip stop on. You're going to have a relatively modest stop on. Point is, when you're right, you get immediate feedback. And it's very encouraging. It's confidence building. And usually, if you enter on the right side and you're selling an old high, it's amazing because you'll see how fast the market tanks. If you buy an old low and you're doing it on a breaker setup, and it's a swing point in the form of a breaker, you're going to be able to see dynamic rallies just like that take off, and they'll be explosive. So don't think in terms of classical chart patterns like head and shoulders, or think in terms of bear flags and bull flags, things like that. Only try to convince yourself that there's only two real ways that the market's going to turn around. It's going to be on a breaker where they run stops, or it's going to be a failure swing. Both of them are indicating a manipulation, but they both have to be used slightly different. The first one being the breaker swing point, that is the ideal one. You want to be looking for that scenario all the time on any time frame, not just the daily chart, but any time frame. But if you can't get the breaker, don't fear or be upset about missing that move, because it still gives you the opportunity to get in there, because they're only going to turn the market one of these ways. That's it. And nothing else happens in price. I challenge you to go in and show me something where it doesn't do this, because I can tell you it's either a breaker or it's a failure swing every single time. It's never anything else. So you're limited to really just two conditions in the marketplace. If you're going to be a seller, how are you going to be a seller? You're going to be selling it at a low high, or you're going to be selling it on a retracement back to a break in market structure. That's it. If you're going to be a buyer, are you going to be buying an old low, or are you going to be buying on a return or retracement back to a market structure break to be a buyer at support there? It's just that simple. Nothing else can happen. There's not 50,000 patterns to be looking for. There's not all these different candlestick patterns to memorize. Okay, no dark clouds covering this and no inverted hammer that. It's just simply understanding where are the orders relative to old institutional order flow reference points, key support resistance on high time frames. How is the market behaving at that level? Was it able to pass through it, and did it reject? If it went up to it, fell short, it's probably going to make one more pass higher, and it might give you that breaker entry. If it doesn't give you a breaker entry and it gives you a fair swing, this is how you trade them. But there's nothing you need to worry about in a demo account while you're teaching yourself. If you're worrying about rushing to get in with live money, if you don't know the characteristics between these two swing point theories, you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to be frustrated. You're not going to be able to focus, and you're going to end up chasing price or blowing your account, and then you're going to be frustrated, or taken completely out of the marketplace where you can't fulfill your dreams as a trader. So hopefully this has been insightful to you guys. I'm going to wish you good luck and good trading. I'll talk to you again in the next lesson.